everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from the distant past, and possibly a bunker somewhere in the greater Salt Lake City area.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
The podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, we are assuming we recorded this a couple weeks ago because of some scheduling errors on our part.
As you'll recall from last week, we're dumb.
But we're committed to the show. We're committed to you guys, and we're doing two truncated shows. This is the second one, but we are assuming that the nuclear holocaust has happened.
It's in full swing at least. So that's our assumption. If you can hear this, then congratulations, there's still internet. That's pretty cool.
Or at least you downloaded us before going into the bunker, which was a smart move.
That's all. Yeah, you got to have some entertainment.
And I'm glad it's us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about dealing with stress in these uncertain times. If nothing else, I need the pep talk. So,
right?
So we're going to be...
There's a bit of anxiety about.
Yeah, absolutely. But first, Dan, some things have happened in the world other than, nuclear holocaust.
And these things are definitely fresh and new from this week. So don't anybody worry about it.
Amazing how well we did. Seeing into the future here. Well, I'm going to start us off, Dan, with Van Taylor. That's U.S. Representative Van Taylor. He's a member of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Very important person.
Representing Texas. He's a Republican. And he's a family values guy, right? Like he's run on family values. He doesn't like the gays.
That's code, right?
Yeah.
The words family values in these United States is code for what? Hating the gays. Making sure that women don't have rights.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
He has a wife and 3 daughters, and he has dropped out of the race for re-election.
What?
After a nasty little text message that he sent to a widow of an Islamic State fighter. Let that one sink in for a minute.
Wow. Here's the thing. I can imagine a Texan sending nasty text messages.
This was a sext. This was a sex text message.
That's very different.
He was having an affair with Tanya Joya, like I said, the widow of an Islamic State fighter, right? And the message, I will not read it. This is not a family show. I know it's not a family show. However, it's too raunchy for like prime time. Like
it's scandalized Frank.
It is. It's he talks about things that people do. No, he I will. So this is the sanitized version of it. You may still want to cover your kids' ears. Apparently his text message requested her to perform analingus on him while he enjoyed a drink, and then suggested that she give him deep oral intercourse. Okay. Sorry, children.
I really don't feel like the sanitized version is sanitizing it very much at all, Frank. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay,
You're
that's
saying
fine.
all of the things.
I warned people. Dan, I warned people. But the text message was nasty. Okay?
Yeah.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Switch out almost every single word that I just said for the nasty version.
Right.
And that's what he said, including some details that weren't needed to communicate the full thing.
So my question is this an unwanted text for her, or are they having an affair and this is like...
No, I think it was while they were still, it was concurrent with the affair.
Okay. So this isn't like, he's not assaulting her with, cause I could see it going either way. He could just be sending her those messages, and she's never given him any reason to believe that she's interested.
The article that I read made it fairly clear that they were having an affair.
Okay.
Now, how far that affair went, whether it included acts like he describes, or was a little vanilla-y. Well, nothing that he really described wasn't. Anyway.
Well, how far it actually went is literally none of anybody's business.
Well, no, because this is enough, right?
Yeah.
This text is, it disqualifies him from being a family values guy. Well, I mean, the only thing that I'll say in his defense is that at least it doesn't fully disqualify him for hating the gays, because it's
right. At least it's not a man.
He at least didn't do that one and be, anti-gay while sleeping around town with lots of men, So.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is that this actually derailed him, because we have seen this shit happen over and over and over again, and these guys get away with it all the time. And now so I want to know which element of this was enough to put it over the edge. It wasn't the affair. These guys have affairs constantly. That's an easy one. You just get up in front of the people with your wife standing next to you, and you cry and you say, I can't believe I did this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sad, blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't the affair that was the problem. It was either the explicit text message.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the fact that
that she's a former jihadist or whatever.
I mean, it's a beautiful combination.
It is a good combo.
It's really solid, right? Like almost everything about it is really, really good.
This sandwich has all the meats.
And then some more meat. But yeah.
All right. Well, good. He's gone. I guess I'm assuming that that's a good thing, although what Texas will replace him with will probably be even more horrifying. So have fun with that, Texas.
And Dan, in there somewhere, you blocked my joke about tonsils. I'm just going to...
Wait. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I apologize to you for us missing Frank's tonsil joke. I don't know what it was, but I do know that you should look up the text that this guy sent.
Yeah.
And you'll know that tonsils are involved. And that's not a good thing. All right. Well, apologies for stepping on your joke, Frank. And I'm going to take us now to the states of Arkansas and Indiana, which are currently not benefiting from a campaign of billboards by the Satanic Temple. The Satanic Temple wanted to put up a bunch of billboards, and the company that owns those billboards, a Louisiana-based company called Lamar Advertising, they declined these billboards.
Really? From the Satanic Temple?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I've been through the South and through, different, more rural and more right-wing parts of our country. You have too.
Oh, yeah.
And I have seen horrifying things on billboards. I have seen anti-abortion billboards that have like fetuses on them.
Yeah.
That are like bloody and whatever. Like, wow, you're killing babies. Like, this is the horror that people see on the highway in middle America and around the redder states.
And you're skipping actually the Jesus billboards where he's bloodied to hell, right?
Yeah.
Where like the crown of thorns is like unleashed, like, the scene from The Shining, practically, right?
Floods, flowing fonts of blood.
Blood everywhere.
Everywhere. Because, there are whole parts of our country that are bathed in Jesus's blood. So there's that.
Right.
However, it's the Satanic Temple that went a step too far when they tried to put up billboards that's basically, okay, so imagine, if you will, a bowl of cake batter.
Mm.
And basically the image, and then it says, not a cake. Next to which is the image of a sperm and an egg with the text, not a baby.
Ah, well done. Yes. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the text, which says, our religious abortion ritual averts many state restrictions. Which, by the way, I'm not sure that that's true. I don't think that that's been tried in courts yet, but I think that's great. I love that they're shooting for it. Just don't take legal advice from a billboard or a podcast. Consult your lawyer before thwarting state abortion laws using only your religious affiliation with the Satanic Temple. But it's worth a shot. Talk to your lawyer. See if it. Anywho, these really pretty inoffensive billboards were rejected by Lamar, and which said that their content was, quote, misleading and offensive. I'm not quite sure how. Maybe they're saying that the sacramental act of their religious abortion ritual doesn't avert the state restrictions. I'm not sure what they say. Anyway, the Satanic Temple is suing. They have filed a suit basically alleging that this company's refusal to put up their billboards is religious
discrimination.
Thank you. Why didn't that word come? We're a little punchy people. We're doing 2 shows today. Anyway, yeah, so you gotta love a religious discrimination lawsuit from the Satanic Temple.
That's brilliant. That's where they actually might have some teeth, right?
Yeah,
in their claims.
Yeah.
So,
So we shall see what happens with that. But A, I love the billboards. I want them to be up. And B, we'll see what happens with a religious discrimination lawsuit. Anyway, if you have anything you'd like to say about either of our stories today, please feel free to write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
All right, Frank. Listen,
Yes.
I don't think we've ever heard of a guy named Wade Burleson.
Yeah, that doesn't ring a bell. Burleson?
Yeah, Wade Burleson.
Okay.
This is a GOP congressional candidate. He wants to give us a history lesson, and I think that's
Great.
all we need to know.
I'm
So
terrified.
here we go.
Folks, listen, I told the New York Times, I'm not vaccinated. My wife's not vaccinated. She's in medicine. She has her doctorate in nursing. And people say, are you anti-vaccine? Are you kidding me? I've got every shot in the book. I don't need this one because of my natural immunity. But I'm not going to tell you you're stupid if you take it. Well, let me tell you, New York Times, don't you dare tread on me and tell me I'm stupid because I don't take it. I'm informed. I know enough about history to know that after World War II, we hung Nazi doctors who took Jews and injected shots in them without their permission.
Woo! I just love how dramatic he is.
Oh yeah. He gets a little
He
soft
gets all
tones and
high
quiet,
pitched.
and
He gets all high pitched and loud, and I'm not going to take the vaccine. And then he gets, now listen here,
yeah.
New York Times. He's all over the map.
He's got range, Dan.
Somebody likes drama. Anyway,
Yeah, he's probably causing quite the stir in his life. Always just causing all sorts of problems, right?
oh yeah,
Relationship problems. He gets in the middle. Great song.
That guy,
He loves drama.
for sure.
Loves it.
Loves it.
Yeah, wow. Well, I don't even know where to start as far as like Nazi doctors and whatnot. Do we need to?
Well,
I don't feel like we need to.
It's what's his name's law. It's Godson's law, Godfrey's law. Now I can't think of it. Anyway, it's literally once it has devolved, like he went straight to Nazis. There's literally 0 instances in the United States of doctors forcing anyone to take a shot.
No.
There's 0 instances as of right now, as of recording.
I know.
And yet
people have always had the choice.
He felt the need to make that comparison.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
I think he's such a great example, right? Like he is his own argument against what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't forced to take the shot.
Yeah, literally.
So nobody's forcing people to. Anyway.
Yeah. How did you beat the Nazis and not get the shot, buddy?
Right.
You did it. You beat them. Congratulations. All those Nazis just running around with syringes trying to get you.
Right.
Good Lord. Do they not realize that they are making light of the Holocaust when they make that comparison? They're not sort of talking about the weight of the current situation.
Right.
They are making light of that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
That is astounding. All right. Well, we had some beautiful people write into us 2 weeks ago, and we're gonna read their emails. So here we go. This one was unsigned. It says, "Hello, Frank and Dan. In regards to Texas calling elective medical procedures for trans kids child abuse, it occurred to me, and I'm sure others thought this, if elective medical procedures are child abuse, then would not circumcision also have to be considered child abuse?"
Oh, wow. Yep.
I really think so. I mean, I already think that circumcision should be illegal. That is just my stated position on it. Not for grown-ups. If you want to do it when you're a grown-up, knock yourself out to your own damn self.
Yeah, I would say they're having a problem being consistent, as they often have a problem being consistent. So
yeah. I think that's very true. I think consistency does seem to bedevil that side of the
quote
aisle.
unquote pro-life, and yet boy, they will kill a prisoner.
Well, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We had someone call into the show.
We did. Someone responding to our conversation about this same topic.
Yes.
And so why don't we just have a quick listen?
Yeah.
Hey, Frank and Dan. This is Brandy Beckett. I am calling in because I was listening to your latest podcast. I don't remember the number, but Dan was mad about the bill in Texas about the transgender kids. Oh, God, I'm livid. I'm just as fucking livid as Dan about that. I am a transgender woman. I am 49 years old. I live in Massachusetts, but I spend a lot of time in Texas. My husband is working there right now as we speak, in fact. And it drives me fucking crazy. And I am fucking livid how they're treating trans people there and across America. But interesting enough, one caveat. When you say kids know who they are, I didn't. I did not question my gender identity until I was in my 40s. I think I'm very unique and different about that, but apparently I grew up in an environment where I did not get an opportunity to ask that question. So just want to let you all know, not everyone knows who they are when they're kids. I didn't find out my identity until I was in my 40s. Well, love you all. Have a great show. Thank you. Bye.
Well, thanks, Brandy. Yeah, that is you are absolutely right to correct us on that point. We definitely shouldn't have said that kids do know who they are. I didn't know. I didn't know who I was. And no, you're not alone. I actually have other trans friends who are in the same boat as you. So that was an absurd thing for us to claim that all kids know that part of their identity when they're young. But Plenty
but
of
the
them
kids
do.
who do, yes, exactly. Those that do should be able to
Should have access to whatever
to the
their
proper
doctor
medical
and their
care that-
parents
yeah, exactly.
feel is appropriate.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed. All right. And we also had Jake write into us. Jake says, "Hey, Frank and Dan, just listened to this week's episode where you guys talked about the new Novavax vaccine." This would be last week's episode. The new Novavax vaccine, not derived from stem cells. Just wanted to provide a few insights about some misconceptions surrounding stem cells. First, the term fetal stem cells is not an actual term used in the scientific community, which brings me to my second point. Quote, embryonic stem cells are derived exclusively from blastocysts left over from in vitro fertilization procedures. When IVF is undertaken, many potentially viable blastocysts are created. Only a few are actually implanted. The donor then has the option to freeze the remaining blastocysts for later use, donate them to another person seeking IVF, which is rarely done, throw them out, or donate them for research. Every human embryonic stem cell line in existence today is derived this way. Jake says, absolutely no abortion-derived stem cells are used in scientific research. Every single human embryonic stem cell was derived from a blastocyst that was already destined to be destroyed.
That's a good point.
I assume so. I did not research that, but it sounds right. Like what? That's where you would get those cells. They're there. They're gonna
or you go after the babies.
Go get yourself a real baby. You know what I want? I want research done on a post-birth abortion.
That's where you get the good.
That's where you get the good stuff.
The good, really good vaccines.
Oh my God.
That's wild, Dan. I don't think we've ever made a dead baby joke before.
Well, there's a first time for everything. You got to throw them out there every now and then. Keep the kids on their toes, everybody. Woo! Well, we don't have anybody to thank really, because we're in the past and you guys are in the future, and we don't know what's happening out there.
Crazy.
Hopefully, a whole bunch of you said, "Wow, 2 truncated shows in a row? That's worth my money," and have decided to sign up. If you want to do that, and I really genuinely encourage it, what you can do is go to the thankgodimatheist.com, find the support tab, click that. Takes you right there. You decide how much you want to give. We'll give you magic powers in return, and we'll give you a weekly show. So yeah. I feel like it's a good deal in general.
Yeah.
I suppose we can guess at one person to thank.
Yes, indeed. Our Lord and Savior, Dan, our top donor.
As far as we know.
Demonium!
That's right.
Thanks so much. Stick around. There's more show coming up. Okay, Dan.
Yeah.
What I'm really hoping is that the nuclear holocaust hasn't happened, even though that's the assumption that we're making. Right?
Yeah.
Because if it has happened, this could really be in poor taste. That's all I'm going to say.
You guys, if you're currently huddling in a shelter, please don't listen to the rest of this. Please just discontinue at this point, because yeah. But we are going to operate under the assumption that that there actually hasn't been a nuclear holocaust,
even though we know there has been.
Even though yeah. Here's the thing: if there has been, no one's going to hear this anyway, so we're safe. I think we're safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you raised the issue a few weeks ago when we were worried. When things were first unfolding, with Ukraine and Russia, that we have to tread lightly because Putin still has access to a fuck ton of nukes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
and it hasn't really helped my state of mind, Dan, that the media is leaning in hard on this fact. Like, because like when we first, so let's see. So like 2 episodes ago, I think we recorded the evening after the invasion. Right. It was the invasion happened in the morning, and we were both pretty agitated and whatnot. And I kind of had been, or maybe it was the day after, might have been the day after. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Somebody on NPR said something about nuclear, sort of reminding everybody, oh yeah, Russia has nuclear weapons. And I was like, and it really agitated me.
Yeah.
And now it's a couple weeks later in the timeline of the show, and I'm still agitated, and I'm still thinking about this.
Here's the thing. I saw a meme that was going around. I saw it a couple times that basically said, "Hey, all you Gen Zs and millennials out there, if you're worried about the nuclear thing, grab yourself a Gen Xer. We were raised with the Cold War. We were raised with the threat of nuclear annihilation.
We'll walk you through it, right?"
That has not been my experience. My experience is, do not grab one of us. We are traumatized. We will just, what we'll teach you is how to live traumatized. Because it's not a good feeling coming back. It doesn't feel like we're coming home now that we're sort of facing this this ordeal again.
Yeah, there's been none of that pit in my stomach. Oh, that old pit. How I've missed you.
Nostalgia for the nuclear age. Yeah, I mean, those of us who are Gen X and boomers and whatever, we can remember feeling like, I don't know, did you ever? I never did the drills where you get under the desk for a nuclear bomb or whatever.
We did it for earthquakes.
Yeah.
And it's the same drill.
Yeah.
And
I think
it's equally effective for both.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Woo! Made it under the desk. Safe from the nukes now.
Right. Have you ever seen like Duck and Cover, the old little Tommy the Turtle or whatever?
The old newsreel thing or whatever it is.
And it's like, you see a nuclear blast, jump in a ditch. And it's like, cover your head. And you see all these kids, like jumping behind a lamppost or something to try to protect themselves from a nuclear holocaust.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not going to work.
Actually, I saw the U.S. government just reposted like what to do in the event of a nuclear blast things to their website. I don't remember what part.
I saw something along those lines as well. But nonetheless, anxiety is up. And I think it's always good for us to have this conversation when big things happen in the world.
Yeah.
To kind of, we had one of these after Donald Trump became president.
And then we had one when we were first dealing with a pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
I do feel like maybe we just haven't had a moment of the anxiety going down since then, since like 2016 or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't feel like we've had a chance for the anxiety to really subside.
We didn't really get to enjoy Donald Trump, no longer being president because we were all stuck inside.
Yeah, we were still in the middle of a pandemic.
And now the pandemic is we're starting to see the end, hopefully of at least our lives being as disrupted, unless some dumb variant comes along or all of our immunity wears off eventually or whatever happens.
Right.
So we haven't got to enjoy that because now goddamn motherfucking Putin comes along with his nuclear arsenal. And not for nothing, my heart goes out to the I guess they can't, it's the Ukrainians.
Yes.
I tried to drop the there.
You gotta drop the when you're talking about the people, the Ukrainians.
The Ukrainians.
Sure.
And anyway.
I guess you could just say Ukrainians.
Yeah. No, I like the Ukrainians.
Yes.
But nonetheless, like my heart really goes out for them, and they like legitimately, like like that's
obviously.
where my initial emotions have really been centered is just watching what a madman can do in a modern era.
Yeah.
When we all were sort of delusional and thought that something like this wouldn't happen in Europe ever again, right?
On the flip side of that, there is what the sort of heroism of the Ukrainian people.
Yeah.
It is astonishing what how they are standing up to this madman as of now.
Yeah.
As of now. I mean, like I said, we're in the past, you guys are in the future. You know if Ukraine is still a country.
Yeah.
If it's still a landmass that exists on Earth.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, we are not going to be the U.S. If the U.S. gets involved in fighting, which right now we seem determined not to be for good reason.
Yeah.
If the U.S. gets involved in fighting, the U.S. may become a target. But as of right now, the U.S. isn't a target. It's just unless Putin has a reason to just say fuck the whole world and pushes, the mayhem button.
I mean, madmen are madmen.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't want to go there because that's where my head is. But
I honestly don't. You know what? I don't like calling him a madman, and the reason is that I understand, at least to some extent, mental illness, and mental illness is a totally different thing. This guy has, maybe a deep personality disorder, but we're not dealing with a madman. We're dealing with a megalomaniac. Maybe that's a madness.
I think it's a madness. I think it qualifies, Dan. Like he's unhinged from reality.
Yeah.
Right. He, for whatever reason, whether it's, chemical imbalance or just being so isolated and being surrounded by
people who are terrified of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally no one's going to say no to him because they're all afraid he'll literally murder them. Like literally.
Yeah. And things are not good. And do we have advice for the stress? Because I think we've really laid the stage as to like why people need to be stressed out right now. Like if you weren't stressed, I hope you are now, because that's clearly what what
we're going for is to stress you further. Good. So step 1, check. Stress them out. Check.
Now we also have the cure. Yeah. We sell the
good.
Good.
I'm glad that we have that. Take it away, Frank.
We don't have it.
Oh my God. What are we going to do?
It's obvious that it's about our people. It's about our self-care.
Yeah.
It's about the things that, we've probably gotten pretty good at over the course of the pandemic, which is hopefully looking out for our mental state and our emotional state.
Well, and for each other too. Reach out to your friends who might be struggling, because now's a time of struggle. Yeah. And if you're feeling strong, lend yourself as something that people can lean on.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you're the kind of person that follows the news, and I think you are, you're fully aware of what's going on. I do see a lot of people going about their lives blithely, at currently still. Maybe in a week that's changed.
How we envy the blithe.
Maybe that's changed, but as of now, we're it's shocking to me that people don't seem to be fully aware. But I drive around a lot for work, and I was driving. I drove through a neighborhood way out in the exurbs, and it was blue and yellow ribbons everywhere.
Yeah, I think for the most part, interestingly, other than a few very loud, very awful people, the whole world has found a rallying point.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a beauty in that.
Yeah. No, I think it's pretty amazing.
Get some blue and yellow.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Buy some sunflowers. Decorate. Sunflowers are the decoration of the season, everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
And
because it's the national flower of Ukraine, if you don't know that.
Yeah, like a significant amount of the world's sunflowers are grown there. I did not know that.
I did not know that until now. Wow.
So yeah, if you can find inspiration in that, and donate. Please find ways to donate to Ukraine if you have some money kicking around. But also, now's a great time to find to get together with your community, whatever that is. Whether it's a Facebook community or a Discord community like our members only lounges.
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling low, reach out. If you're feeling like you need some support, just put it out there. I need some support right now. I'm feeling shitty. That's something that a lot of us have not been trained to do very well, especially in our country. Men have not been trained to ask for emotional support. We don't know what we're doing on that front, but just try it. It's good. But also, I just started back into therapy.
Did you know?
I know that therapists are not wanting for work right now, but they can still be found, and they can still be very helpful. So there are some good therapists out there. There are some shitty therapists out there. So if you get one of those, just quit and go to somebody else. But yeah, get the help that you need. Don't worry too much about putting on a few pounds. Eat your comfort foods now, people. Now is the time.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
Anything else?
Decent.
What else you got?
Oh, not much. not much, Dan. I'm just keeping my head above water.
Yeah. Well,
just over here, just trying to stay afloat. Find
the people that you love. Find the shows that you enjoy. And hug each other tight out there. That sounds great. Well, next week we'll be back from the past to join you in the future, however it ends up looking. So we'll see you then. But if you have anything that you'd like to add to this conversation, if you have a good way that you show that you support your people, or a good way that you've received support in a time of stress, write into us and let us know about it. podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a message about it. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Hey, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist. Click the like button.
And if you'd like to join one of the members only lounges that Dan was just talking about, go to our website. It's thankgodimatheist.com/members only. That's how you find them.
Yeah. Hey, thanks so much to the Red Rock Hot Club for their use of their music.
And thanks to Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
And thanks to all of you friends for putting up with us. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.